Hi, I'm Tina Derby, and I'm here today in Sutton, New Hampshire at Going Broke Farm with Jimmy, this nice paint horse, and with Jacki St Cyr, this nice rider. And Jacki is a senior at Findlay University, which is a wonderful big school out in Ohio. And Jacki, why don't you tell me a little bit about what you're studying, because it's quite a neat combination of classes.
I'm taking equine business management, equestrian studies, and a minor in entrepreneurship.
Wow, so that's awesome. So you'll be all ready to run your own place when you get out. Okay, beautiful. That's good. That was good thinking. And today, Jacki is going to talk a little bit about proper position for a Western rider, particularly a rider in the show ring, but also really any of this applies to, even if you just trail ride, good riding is good riding. So, you know, all the techniques really cross over from the show ring to trail, but in particular we're going to talk about some show ring stuff, be the focus. So anyhow, why don't you go ahead and start maybe with the hands or legs or whatever.
Great. There's a couple different ways to hold your reins, whether you're right-handed or left-handed. I happen to ride right-handed, so the proper way is to take your reins and split them, and you'll have them hang on the same side that you're going to have your hand. And you take one finger, put it in the middle of the reins, and the rest are just going to wrap around. That's the correct way to hold them for in the show ring, and it's also a really great way to ride with them on the trail. And like I said, the rest will hang to the side, and you want to have enough contact where if something went wrong or if something happened in the show ring, you need to fix your horse a little bit. You won't have to make too big of a noticeable change and catch the judge's eye. So you want to make sure they have enough room to relax, but also you can make corrections.
Yeah, so you don't want, like with this bit right here, I see a lot of riders in the show ring will be going around and it'll be tight, it'll be like a contact right with the bit, but really you want to have a little bit of slack in the rein, right, with a western, with a curve, anyhow. Then I might not apply to hunt seat.
Right. Also, the bit works correctly when the horse's head is in the correct position, down and tucked a little bit. So that way when I pick up on the reins, the bit is going to work correctly in the horse's mouth. So if you're always riding with your reins too tight, it's like always riding the brakes on your car. Yeah. So you won't be able to make corrections as easily.
Right. That's a good point, and it's a common mistake I think people make.
Your hands should be held relatively close to the saddle horn and also relatively close to your horse's neck. A rule of thumb is about a pinky's length away. And also, while steering in the show ring and patterns and such, you want to stay as close to this box as you can, a box above the horn and close to your horse's neck. So that's very handy to know when you're in the show ring.
Excellent. Yeah, because sometimes you see riders up with a hand like around the rib cage.
Right. For sure. Next thing I want to talk about is leg positioning, especially in the Western saddle. You want to focus on having as long of leg as you can. I think about it as standing up in my saddle. So you can actually do some exercises while riding, such as stand up in your saddle and walk and jog around and have your leg muscles hold you there, so you're really standing tall in the saddle. You want to have a line from your ear to your shoulder, down to your hip, down to your heel. So you really know you're making a straight line. When I went to school, I learned a really great trick that I had never learned before, and it was very helpful to take my foot out of the stirrup, bring my thigh back like this, and then return my foot to the stirrup. So I'm stretching my thigh back, not just bringing my lower leg back like this.
Exactly.
So you really want to focus on keeping your center of gravity above the horse and also your center of gravity up as well.
Right, that's perfect. And that's so important. You're talking about the center of gravity and the balance. Obviously, if you're not in balance up on that horse, he's not going to be able to do what he needs to do properly. So it's really important.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like a little thing. It's not just about being pretty. It's really about helping your horse be able to perform well.
Right. You also want to focus on keeping the stirrups on the balls of your feet. So you don't want your foot too far in the stirrup like this. That wouldn't be good in the show ring, or it's quite dangerous to ride like that on the trail as well. If something happens, your foot could get caught in the stirrup. So wherever is comfortable for you, but try to keep as little in the stirrup as possible. And you also want to strive to keep those heels down, again, to keep the balance down and back with your body. And also you want to keep your upper body back and up and your shoulders square and try not to lean and twist your body. You always want to focus on staying straight, but also not stiff. Make it comfortable for you and your horse. Your horse is going to feel if you're stiff as well.
Absolutely. That is so true. That is excellent advice. And now, what do you think about, because you see a lot of people get lazy, and I've done this too, so I'm not picking on anybody. It's very easy when you're not taking riding lessons, particularly those of us who train horses, to get sloppy with these things. So what do you think about, taking lessons even once in a while, even if you're a very advanced rider? I know some of the best riders in the world, and they all take lessons from somebody or another. So is that something you would recommend?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still in school, so I'm taking a lesson pretty much every day when I'm in school, so which is really great. I know even my instructors will sometimes ride with other friends and riders that they know, and they'll learn from each other. If you don't have that, the ability to do that, I think it's great. I gave someone a lesson today that had been riding her whole life, and just sometimes new doors open up, or you forget about things, and things can really change. Sometimes you've heard the same thing 500 times, and all of a sudden a light bulb goes on, and you're really gonna, it can change your riding style. So it's great to learn all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So keep that open mind and keep learning.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jackie.
Yeah,
I really
you're
appreciate
welcome.
this
Thank you.
wonderful information.